Hey guys, welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout called Bandit by guess who? Bandit Nutrition. Who'd have thunk it? And we're going to be covering the taste, the price, the label and the effects and working out if it's right for you. It does have a very ghost-esque feel and theme to it, in my personal opinion. That's obviously not a dig at these guys, you know. I think it's cool, it looks premium, it feels premium. I like it a lot, but is that premiumness going to transfer over into the real world effects, which is the reason we buy these things, right? So stay tuned and we'll find out. And if you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button, tick the bell icon, give the video a like if you like it, and drop down your thoughts below on this pre-workout and anything else you want to see us review on the channel. We might just do it just for you. Okay, tasty time. So we have sour cherry flavour, signed by Squiggle. So you know it's legit if it's signed by someone. Well, I don't think that's to do with the flavour, I think it's the whole pre-workout. But anyway, mixability, pretty damn good actually. There's only a couple of little granity bits at the bottom, but I'd say definitely above average. And it is a 14-gram scoop, so it's not super small. But yeah, decent mixability. How's it going to taste? One thing I will say is when you do open the tub, you have a sneezing fit. And I think that's because some of the ingredients in here, which we'll get onto, but let's just say it's got a spicy essence and it has you sneezing like you're hay fevering. But let's see how it tastes. The actual flavour is absolutely banging, but you get an aftertaste of pepperiness, of like a spicy sensation left in your throat, which is obviously, you know, the reason why you're going to be sneezing when you undo the tub. So it's a tricky one. I would say like literally like 9 or 10 out of 10 on the front end, but then the back end comes in and ruins it. But try and give you an overall score. Let's have another sip. Weren't as spicy that time. Let's have another go. I think I've acclimated to the spiciness, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It is really nice, but the spice does ruin it a little bit for me. And if you don't like spiciness, you'll probably not like it at all. If you don't mind spiciness, or you like something a bit unique, you're definitely going to like this one, because it is indeed a sour cherry flavour, and I think they've done well with it, minus the spice. 8 out of 10. Deary me guys, the price segment is so potent it's blowing me bloody hair off. Luckily I've still got my beard though, but let's get into it. So if you want to pick it up, head over to wearebandit.co.uk where you'll find the 30 serving tub on there. We like that. 30 serving tubs tend to be a dying breed these days, but it's good to see it here. So 30 serving tub, £34.99. It's going to come to £1.17 per serving and actually fall into a 7.5 on our consistent pricing scale. 7.5 out of 10 that is. So priced a lot better than your average pre-workout actually. 5 out of 10 obviously being your average. So considering that's no discount codes, no nothing, just the absolute stock based price, really good start. So thumbs up there as well. Let's get into the label and the effects. What are we getting for that money? Right, let's get into the label then. So we are getting 14 grams worth of scoop. We have got first up the Bandit Heist matrix, should we call it. We've got L-citrulline pure at 4 grams, which is the lowest, which is the minimum effective dose basically. So it's going to help to bump up nitric oxide levels within your bloodstream, helping with the blood flow and the pumps. So we'll take it. It's a staple pump ingredient. Most people expect it. I can't even talk today. Expect it in pre-workout these days, so it's good to have it here. Although a lot of people do expect 6 grams, but 4 grams still get the job done. Then we've got beta alanine at 3.2 grams. Again, the dose we look for. It's going to give that itchy, tingly sensation when it kicks in. We like it for that. But why it's actually put in pre-workouts is because it helps with endurance when it builds up in your system, buffering lactic acid. Then we move down to nitrosogene, a registered ingredient at 750 milligrams, which is half the dose we normally look for. We normally like to see the maxed out dose of 1.5 grams, but 750 is still going to work, don't get me wrong. It's going to pair up with the L-citrine naturally in boosting up nitric oxide levels. It's a more stable form of arginine, we like to see it. Then we've got L-theanine in here as well. Bit random having this along with pumpy, endurance-y ingredients, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That's an amino acid. It's normally put in pre-workouts to taper down any harsh stimulatory effects of caffeine and other stims, help with the focus, help with the concentration. You know, it's a love it or hate it ingredient. 200 milligrams isn't too horrendous. We've seen it way worse. We've seen a gram. We've also seen it as low as 50, maybe even less than that, 50 milligrams. So it all comes down to what the ratio is of the L-theanine against the stimulants, which we'll find out as we move through the label. So then we move into the Bandit cracked complex, matrix complex, interchangeable. Got taurine up first, another amino acid at a gram. The dose we look for, jack of all trades, helps with energy production within the body, hydration, pumps, and even some cognitive benefits too. Then we've got alpha GPC, 50%, 400 milligrams. Not a bad dose. We normally like to see 600 milligrams yielding 300 milligrams of choline, but 400 is definitely not to be sniffed at. It's going to get the job done. It's going to help with focus and concentration. Then we have caffeine anhydrous, 250 milligrams, which is roughly 2.5 cups of coffee worth of stimulation there. It's probably like 50 to 100 milligrams less than the average amount that you see in pre-workouts these days. So, you know, people are really sensitive to caffeine are going to be eyeing up this pre-workout, put it that way. But it's that main stimulant that's going to kick in relatively quick, going to wake you up and get you moving. So actually we've got more caffeine than we have L-theanine, so that's a good start. Then we move down to olive leaf extract, 50 milligrams. This is a jack of all trades health type ingredient. It fights free radicals, helps with inflammation, boosts your immune system, lowers blood pressure, the list goes on. Then we've got black pepper extract at 10 milligrams, which is double the dose we normally see, and it's going to help with the absorption of all these ingredients. And it is also the reason why the pre-workout has that spicy taste, and the reason why you end up coughing and sneezing when you undo the tub. So it's some bloody potent black pepper they've got in this pre-workout, I'll tell you that. Because we've had 10 milligrams before that doesn't taste or smell as potent as it is in this one, so I don't know if they've got some OP version of it. Then we move down to the last one, Bandit Hydrate, which is pretty self-explanatory. So potassium, calcium, magnesium, electrolyte time. It's going to help with your hydration and your pumps ultimately. So yeah, basic, simple but effective label. I wouldn't say they're going above and beyond and giving you shitloads of ingredients at mega dosages. I wouldn't say they're skimping too hard either. So it's a nice middle ground label. It's ticking the boxes we generally look for. So how's it going to translate into real world training? Is it going to suffice? Okay, it's time for the effects of Bandit pre-workout. So how did myself and Aaron get on in this? Several times we've used it since receiving it. Well, let's start off like we always do with that beta alanine. It's in at a clinical dose. We've got the digestive age, which we normally find helps with the uptake and effect of beta alanine tingles. How strong does it kick in? Kicks into a medium degree. Not as strong as I was actually anticipating, to be honest, but not weak either by any stretch. I would say 5 or 6 out of 10 on the tingle scale. And no, you know, I'm not going to say my tolerance is ridiculous, because I have taken other pre-workouts before and after this one that hit me harder when it concerns beta alanine. So fear not for those of you that are thinking that. It's just, for whatever reason, in this pre-workout, for me personally, it kicks into a medium degree. So you get a bit of heated tingliness, but nothing crazy, so you won't be itching your eyeballs out. So if you don't like beta alanine, you might just be alright with it. If you do like beta alanine, at least you're still getting some tingle action. So nice middle ground there, and I'd say that that's going to be the standout phrase for this pre-workout, is nice middle ground. So let me move on. So after the beta alanine kicks in, which takes roughly 20-30 minutes, if that, the caffeine then comes in. Don't get me wrong, by any stretch, it doesn't come in strong. You just feel it subtly come in, you feel slightly more alert. You actually feel quite a thermogenic effect on this pre-workout, strangely, and I do think it is, weirdly, primarily or mostly down to that black pepper extract, because it's so potently spicy, because that spice makes you uncomfortable and sweat and get all heated and agitated, the beta alanine, you know, all of that jazz. It almost, if I didn't look at the label, I think they've got, you know, grains of paradise or GBB or something in here that would actually increase your metabolic rate and help with fat burning, but it doesn't. I mean, obviously caffeine to a degree, but yeah, I was expecting there to be a fat burning component to this pre-workout. So it does get you a bit sweaty, shall we say, which isn't a bad thing. You know, we don't mind that in pre-workouts to a certain extent. So yeah, the caffeine comes in subtly. You do get that heated, almost thermogenic effect, like I mentioned, coming with that. And that's pretty much it, to be fair. Like, the energy lasts a couple of hours. When we're talking similar to energy drink level of energy. Now, we have got the L-theanine in as well, obviously smoothing down that already low-ish amount of caffeine, comparatively speaking. So, like I said, it does not come in strong, it doesn't blow your head off. It's actually quite a smooth pre-workout, minus the beta and the sweatiness, shall we say. So yeah, that's what we're talking in terms of what you feel from the pre-workout physically.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
So the energy is super smooth and honestly lasts probably 2 to 3 hours, absolutely maximum. Now, I have used this pre-workout on lesser days, like your shoulder days, arm days, you know, things that aren't quite as intense or long. And I've also used it on leg days, which was my most recent usage of this pre-workout, and a back day, which are the longer, you know, hour and a half, pushing 2 hours even some day sessions if you get caught talking or particularly enjoying it and want to stay longer. So yeah, it does struggle a little bit more on the longer sessions, I'm not going to lie, and energy isn't its standout point by any stretch. It's okay for the shorter days, that's what I'm getting at. So let's talk about the different elements. So I've covered the energy, the slight thermogenic type feel to the pre-workout, and the beta tingles. I would say the standout point is the pumps. So the pumps are good. They're not incredible, they're not amazing, they're definitely decent though. So the pumps are definitely noticeably good. Like, you do know you've taken a pump ingredient, shall we say. So that's the standout feature. Just behind that is the focus, because you've got the alpha GPC, you've got the caffeine and the L-theanine working together, you know, their synergy doing their thing, which all ties into a nice, smooth, focused, on the ball type productive mindset. I wouldn't say there's any, you know, crazy mood elevation or tunnel vision focus or anything nutty like that. You know, it is very much a daily driver pre-workout, so, you know, manage your expectations when it concerns that. You know, I'm sure you already are doing that based on the label, unless you're new to this sort of thing. So yeah, it's a nice, smooth, healthy daily driver pre-workout that pretty much anyone will be alright with, as long as you can handle the spiciness of this one. I don't know if the other flavour has similar spiciness. I'm assuming yes, because it's the same formula, but you never know. So yeah, I'm going to say pumps are the standout feature. I would give them a 7 out of 10, because the focus and the pumps do kind of tie in with that mind-muscle connection, and they do work well together. So the pumps are the 7 out of 10. I would say the focus is a 6 out of 10, just sitting behind those pumps. And I would say the energy is a bang average 5 out of 10. Hell, I might even say 4 to 4.5 out of 10, to be honest with you. Like, the energy is super smooth. It doesn't wake you from the dead, put it that way. But it's definitely enough to suffice for most people, especially people that aren't stim junkies, you know, let's be honest. And people that want a serious, productive pre-workout that's not going to hinder them and cause negative side effects. Like, I haven't talked about that yet. There's no negatives with this pre-workout, so it's not going to keep you up at night, not going to suppress your appetite, not going to make you feel sick or ill, or none of that nastiness. Not going to give you that off your bonds type feeling. So yeah, no negatives, ticking all the boxes we look for, but to an okay to good degree. Nothing's, you know, it's not smashing anything out of the park, and it's also not majorly slacking anywhere either. So I would say it comes together maybe a little bit better than the label might suggest. So yeah, just to reiterate, pump 7 out of 10, focus 6 out of 10, energy 4 to 5 out of 10, let's say. No negatives, which we always give pre-workouts kudos for, and do give them an extra point for that. So I'm going to land on an honest overall score. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I was going to say 6 based on the logic of my scorings there, but I feel like 6 is a bit harsh, because I have had a genuinely really good session on this pre-workout every time I've taken it. It just hasn't blown me away either, but that's not a bad thing. You know, it's ticking the boxes, it's getting the job done. At the end of the day, I had a great session, so, you know, what's it doing wrong at the end of the day? So 7 out of 10 is my honest final score on this pre-workout. Ticking all the boxes to a reasonable degree, just not blowing anything out of the park. So manage your expectations. I would recommend it heavily for beginners, especially for that price point. I would recommend it for intermediate people even. For people that are serious about training, that want to get a bit of focus and pump and smooth energy without anything crazy, I'd recommend it to you guys as well, especially again for that price point. Obviously stim junkies, it's not going to tick the box for you. So yeah, I do think that covers everything on Bandit pre-workout. Again, I just want to say I really like the packaging. It feels really clean and premium. You know, that's all embossed and sitting above the rest of it. It looks like a product that they've put a lot of care and attention to, let's put it that way. And I'm excited to see what other stuff they come out with down the line. I do hope you guys appreciate our feedback over here at Review Bros, and I do hope that you viewers also enjoy the information we've given you to help you decide if you want to pick it up or not. So yeah, let us know what else you want to see us review. Let us know if you've used this and what you think of it, all the usuals. And as always, stay stimmed.